We're embarking on a journey to one of Japan's most iconic and breathtaking landmarks, Kinkaku-ji, the legendary Golden Pavilion, nestled in the heart of Kyoto. This shimmering temple isn't just a pretty sight. It's a profound symbol of Japanese history, culture, and aesthetics. So, grab your virtual passport and let's explore the story behind this architectural masterpiece. Our story begins in the late 14th century, during the Muromachi period. The site was originally a villa owned by a powerful statesman. However, in 1397, it was purchased by the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu was a man of immense power and refined taste, a true patron of the arts. He decided to transform this humble villa into his grand retirement estate, a place that would reflect his prestige and his deep appreciation for Zen Buddhism and courtly culture. This ambitious project was named Kitayama-den, or the Northern Mountain Villa. The centerpiece, of course, was the spectacular Golden Pavilion. After Yoshimitsu's death in 1408, his son, following his father's will, converted the villa into a Rinzai Zen Buddhist temple, officially naming it Rokkyo-ji, which means Deer Garden Temple. However, the nickname Kinkaku-ji, given for its gold-leafed pavilion, is what has echoed through the centuries. Now, let's talk about what makes Kinkaku-ji so architecturally stunning. The pavilion is a three-story structure, and what's truly fascinating is that each floor is designed in a completely different architectural style, creating a harmonious blend of different eras and cultures. The first floor, called the Chamber of Dharma Waters, is built in the Shinden-zukuri style. This was the style of residential palaces for the aristocracy during the Heian period. It features natural, unpainted wood pillars and white plaster walls. This floor was used as a reception area, where Yoshimitsu would welcome his guests. The open design with its verandas was meant to blend seamlessly with the surrounding landscape, allowing visitors to feel connected to the beautiful garden and pond right outside. It represents a connection to the earthly, the courtly life. Moving up to the second floor, we find the Tower of Sound Waves. This level is built in the Bukzukuri style, which was favored by the samurai warrior class. Here, you'll find sliding wood doors and latticed windows, a more enclosed and formal design reflecting the values of the samurai. This floor housed a statue of the Bodhisattva Kannon, the goddess of mercy, and was likely used by Yoshimitsu for private meetings with his trusted advisors. This floor is where the gold leaf begins, covering the exterior walls, hinting at the splendor to come. It symbolizes the world of the warrior, a transition from the earthly to the spiritual. Finally, we arrive at the third and top floor, called the Cupola of the Ultimate. This floor is a pure representation of a traditional Chinese Zen hall, or Zen Spätsuden style. It's completely gilded, both inside and out, with shimmering gold leaf. The bell-shaped windows are a classic feature of this style. This top floor enshrines sacred relics of the Buddha and was used by Yoshimitsu for meditation and religious ceremonies. It's the most spiritual and transcendent part of the pavilion, representing the realm of enlightenment. The entire structure is then topped with a magnificent golden phoenix, a mythical bird symbolizing divine favor and good fortune, forever watching over the temple. So, in one single building, Yoshimitsu masterfully combined three distinct architectural styles, representing the court aristocracy, the samurai warriors, and Zen Buddhism. It's a physical embodiment of the cultural fusion that defined the Muromachi period. But the pavilion itself is only one part of the experience. Kinkaku-ji is set within a breathtaking Japanese strolling garden. The design is meticulously planned to create a perfect, idealized landscape. The centerpiece of this garden is Kaikeyo-kai, or the mirror pond. The pond is not just a beautiful water feature. It's designed to perfectly reflect the image of the Golden Pavilion, creating a stunning, ethereal vision of a golden temple floating between heaven and earth. The reflection is often even clearer and more vibrant than the pavilion itself. Dotted within the pond are several islands and rock formations, each with its own name and symbolic meaning, representing elements of Buddhist cosmology and Japanese folklore. As you walk the path around the pond, the view of the pavilion constantly changes, revealing new angles and perspectives. This is a key principle of Japanese garden design. The journey is just as important as the destination. Now, the story of Kinkaku-ji takes a tragic turn. On July 2nd, 1950, the world was shocked to learn that the Golden Pavilion had been burned to the ground. The culprit was a young, 22-year-old novice monk who was struggling with his mental health. The incident sent shockwaves across Japan and the world. It was a national tragedy, a loss of an irreplaceable cultural treasure. The event inspired the famous novel The Temple of the Golden Pavilion by Yukio Mishima, which explores the complex psychological motives behind the arson. However, the story doesn't end in ashes. The Japanese people were determined to rebuild their beloved landmark. A massive fundraising campaign was launched, and donations poured in from all over the country. Using detailed plans and photographs from before the fire, an exact reconstruction began in 1955. It was a painstaking process. Craftsmen used traditional techniques and materials to ensure the new pavilion was a faithful replica of the original. In fact, some argue the new version is even more splendid. The gold leaf application was extensive, using a much thicker layer of gold than what was likely on the original weathered structure. The pavilion we see today is this magnificent reconstruction, a testament to the resilience and dedication of the Japanese people to preserving their heritage. It stands not just as a historical monument, but as a symbol of rebirth and renewal. So what does Kinkaku-ji truly represent? On one level, it's a symbol of the immense wealth and power of the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu. The sheer amount of gold leaf was a bold statement of his authority. But on a deeper level, it reflects the complex philosophical and religious ideas of its time. The integration of different architectural styles speaks to a desire to harmonize different aspects of life, the worldly and the spiritual, the elegant courtier and the disciplined warrior. The way the pavilion interacts with its garden and the reflection in the pond is a core expression of Zen Buddhist philosophy. It's about the transient nature of reality, the relationship between the material world and the world of the mind, the illusion and the truth. It's a place designed for contemplation, to inspire visitors to look beyond the glittering surface and reflect on deeper meanings. Today, Kinkaku-ji is one of Japan's most visited tourist attractions and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Millions of people from around the globe come here every year to witness its beauty, and the experience changes dramatically with the seasons. In spring, it's framed by delicate cherry blossoms. In summer, the deep green of the surrounding trees makes the gold pop. In autumn, it's set against a fiery backdrop of red and orange maple leaves. And perhaps most magical of all is in winter, when a blanket of pure white snow covers the roof and the garden, creating a serene, almost monochrome world where the golden walls shine with an otherworldly glow. No matter when you visit, Kinkaku-ji offers a truly unforgettable sight. It's a place where architecture, nature, and philosophy intertwine. It tells a story of power, art, tragedy, and rebirth. It's a reminder that beauty can be both fleeting and eternal. The Golden Pavilion isn't just a building, it's a living piece of history, a work of art that continues to inspire awe and wonder in all who see it. we're embarking on a journey to one of Japan's most iconic and breathtaking landmarks, nestled in the heart of Kyoto. This shimmering masterpiece has captivated visitors for centuries. Get ready to explore the serene beauty and rich history of Kinkaku-ji, the Golden Pavilion. Picture this. A gentle breeze rustles through ancient pine trees. The surface of a tranquil pond reflects the sky, and rising from its edge is a structure so magnificent it seems plucked from a dream. The top-to floors are completely covered in pure gold leaf, glistening under the sun. This isn't just a building, it's a work of art, a symbol of Kyoto's enduring elegance. So, how did this golden wonder come to be? Our story begins in the late 14th century. During the Muromachi period, the site was originally a villa belonging to a powerful statesman, but it was the third Ashikaga shogun, Yoshimitsu, who transformed it into the retirement estate we see traces of today. After his death in 1408, following his will, the villa was converted into a Zen Buddhist temple of the Rinzai sect, and it was officially named Rokyun-ji, which actually means Deer Garden Temple. Kinkaku-ji, the name we all know, technically just refers to the Golden Pavilion building itself. Yoshimitsu was a man of immense power and refined taste. He envisioned this pavilion as a reflection of the extravagant Kitayama culture of his time. This culture was a vibrant mix of aristocratic and samurai traditions, and Kinkaku-ji was its crown jewel. He would host esteemed guests here, including the emperor, holding elaborate poetry gatherings and tea ceremonies, all while surrounded by this incredible golden splendor. Now, let's take a closer look at the pavilion's unique architecture. It's a fascinating blend of three distinct styles, one for each floor, which was a deliberate choice by Yoshimitsu. The first floor, named the Chamber of Dharma Waters, is built in the Shinden-zukuri style. This was the style of residential palaces for the Heian period aristocracy. It features natural wood pillars and white plaster walls, creating a more open and natural feel. This floor was used as a reception area, and from here, you can almost hear the faint echoes of ancient poetry and lively conversations. The contrasting simplicity of this level makes the golden floors above even more dramatic. Moving up to the second floor, we find the Tower of Sound Waves. This level is built in the Bukzukuri style, the residential style of samurai warriors. It's here that the gold leaf begins. This floor housed a hall for music and poetry meetings. Inside, there's a seated statue of Kannon, the Bodhisattva of mercy. The exterior is completely covered in gold, and it catches the light in the most magical way, casting a warm, golden glow on the surrounding pond. Finally, we reach the summit, the third floor. This is called the Cupola of the Ultimate. It's built in the style of a traditional Chinese Zen hall, known as Shinden-zukuri. It's also completely gilded, both inside and out. This floor was designed for private tea ceremonies and meditation. It enshrines relics of the Buddha, making it the most sacred part of the pavilion. The intricate bell-shaped windows are a classic feature of this style, and perched right at the very top, on the roof, is a magnificent bronze statue of a fenghuang, or Chinese phoenix. In mythology, this mythical bird appears only in times of peace and prosperity. Its presence here is a powerful symbol, watching over the temple and representing good fortune. It's the perfect final touch to this architectural masterpiece. As you wander the grounds, you'll notice that Kinkaku-ji isn't just about the pavilion itself. The entire garden is a meticulously designed landscape, a perfect example of a Japanese stroll garden. The central feature is the Kaikeu-kai, or mirror pond. The name is perfect because on a calm day, it creates a flawless, shimmering reflection of the Golden Pavilion. The placement of the rocks and islands within the pond is also deeply symbolic, representing the Buddhist creation story. Following the path around the pond, you'll discover other hidden gems. There's the Seka Tea House, a simple rustic structure that offers a wonderful contrast to the opulence of the pavilion. It was built during the Edo period and is renowned for its beautiful view of Kinkaku-ji, especially during sunset. It's a reminder of the wabi-sabi aesthetic, finding beauty in simplicity and imperfection. U lines also pass by a small waterfall and a spring said to have been used by Yoshimitsu for his tea ceremonies. There are statues you can toss coins at for good luck, and a beautiful Fudo Hall, which houses a statue of Fudo Myo, one of the 5 wisdom kings who protects Buddhism. Every single element of the garden is designed to create a sense of peace and harmony, guiding you on a spiritual and aesthetic journey. Now, we have to talk about a darker chapter in the temple's history. The Kinkaku-ji we see today is not the original 14th century structure. In 1950, the world was shocked to learn that the pavilion had been burned to the ground by a young novice monk. This tragic event shook the nation and inspired the famous novel The Temple of the Golden Pavilion by Yukio Mishima. The reason for the arson is complex. The monk was reportedly obsessed with the temple's beauty and wanted to destroy it rather than see it fall into unworthy hands or be tarnished by the modern world. It was a devastating loss of a national treasure, but Japan's spirit of resilience is strong. The temple was painstakingly reconstructed, a process that took 5 years and was completed in 1955. The new structure is an exact replica of the original, based on detailed PI war plans and photographs. In fact, some say the current version is even more stunning. The gold leaf was applied using traditional techniques, but with a much thicker layer than the original, making it shine even more brilliantly. It's a testament to Japan's dedication to preserving its cultural heritage, even in the face of tragedy. One of the most magical things about Kinkaku-ji is how it transforms with the seasons. In spring, cherry blossoms frame the pavilion in delicate shades of pink and white. It's a scene of pure poetry. In summer, the vibrant green of the surrounding forest makes the gold seem even richer and more intense. The sound of cicadas fills the air, adding to the atmosphere. Then comes autumn. This is perhaps the most popular time to visit. The maple trees surrounding the pond turn into a fiery spectacle of red, orange, and yellow. The combination of the autumn leaves and the golden pavilion is simply unforgettable. It's a photographer's dream. And if you are lucky enough to visit in winter, you might witness the most ethereal sight of all. Kinkaku-ji covered in a soft blanket of snow. The world becomes quiet, and the golden walls stand out against the pure white landscape. It's a moment of pure Zen, a truly serene and magical experience. Each season offers a completely different perspective, a new reason to fall in love with this place. So, if you're planning a trip to Kyoto, Kinkaku-ji is an absolute must-see. A few tips for your visit. It can get very crowded, especially during peak seasons like spring and autumn. I'd recommend going early in the morning right when it opens, or perhaps later in the afternoon before it closes, to avoid the biggest crowds. The path through the garden is one way, so you'll be guided along a set route which ensures everyone gets a good view. Don't just rush to take a photo and leave. Take your time. Find a spot by the pond, breathe, and just absorb the view. Notice how the light changes on the golden walls. Listen to the sounds of the garden. Let the history and beauty of the place wash over you. It's more than just a tourist spot. It's a place for contemplation and appreciation of beauty. From its origins as a shogun's opulent retreat, to its life as a Zen temple, through its tragic destruction and glorious rebirth, Kinkaku-ji stands as a powerful symbol. It represents the fleeting nature of beauty, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring power of Japanese culture. It's a golden wonder that continues to inspire awe and wonder in everyone who visits. We are embarking on a journey to one of Japan's most iconic and breathtaking landmarks, Kinkaku-ji, more famously known as the Golden Pavilion. Nestled in the northern part of Kyoto, this Zen Buddhist temple isn't just a pretty picture. It's a profound symbol of Japanese history, culture, and aesthetics. So, grab your virtual passport and let's explore the timeless beauty and deep cultural significance of this architectural marvel. First, let's talk about the jaw-dropping exterior. The top two floors of the pavilion are completely covered in pure gold leaf, which shimmers and reflects beautifully in the surrounding Kyoto-kai, or mirror pond. It's a sight that has captivated visitors for centuries. But why gold? The pavilion was originally built as a retirement villa for the Shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu in the late 14th century. The lavish gold was a bold statement of his power, wealth, and refined taste during the culturally rich Muromachi period. After his death, his son converted the villa into a Zen temple, following his father's wishes. This act transformed a symbol of personal extravagance into a place of spiritual reflection, a fascinating blend of the secular and the sacred. Now, let's take a closer look at the architecture itself, because it tells a story. The Golden Pavilion is a masterful blend of three distinct Japanese architectural styles, one for each floor. The first floor, named the Chamber of Dharma Waters, is built in the Shinden-zukuri style, typical of aristocratic residences from the Heian period. It features natural wood pillars and white plaster walls, creating a more open and natural feel that connects it to the landscape. It feels grounded, almost humble, in contrast to what lies above. Moving up to the second floor, we find the Tower of Sound Waves. This level is built in the Bukzukuri style, which was favored by the samurai warrior class. It houses a seated Kannon Bodhisattva, the goddess of mercy, surrounded by statues of the four heavenly kings. While you can't go inside, just knowing this adds a layer of protective, martial energy to the structure. This floor is also covered in gold leaf, marking the transition from the earthly to the divine. Finally, we reach the pinnacle, the third floor, called the Cupola of the Ultimate. It's built in a traditional Chinese Zen-hall style, or karayo. Its bell-shaped windows and ornate design evoke a sense of deep spiritual contemplation. This floor is gilded both inside and out, and is said to house sacred relics of the Buddha. To top it all off, a magnificent golden phoenix perches on the roof, a mythical bird symbolizing divine favor, virtue, and harmony. Each floor represents a different aspect of Yoshimitsu's world, his status as a noble, a warrior, and a spiritual devotee. It's a journey upwards, from the human world to the realm of enlightenment. The garden surrounding the Golden Pavilion is just as important as the building itself. It's a classic example of a Japanese strolling garden, designed to be appreciated from various viewpoints as you walk along its paths. The layout is meticulously planned to create a perfect, idealized landscape. The mirror pond, with its islands of various sizes, is meant to represent the Buddhist creation story. The rocks are strategically placed, some named after Buddhist figures, and the trees are pruned with incredible precision. The way the golden structure reflects in the water, changing with the light and the seasons, is a core part of the experience. It embodies the Japanese concept of shakai, or borrowed scenery, integrating the distant mountains into the garden's composition. It's a living work of art, designed to inspire peace and tranquility. The Golden Pavilion story, however, isn't without tragedy. In 1950, the world was shocked to learn that a young novice monk had burned the historic structure to the ground. This devastating act of arson was a national tragedy, and it inspired the famous novel The Temple of the Golden Pavilion by Yukio Mishima. The book explores the complex psychological motives behind the monk's actions, delving into themes of beauty, obsession, and destruction. The pavilion we see today is a painstaking reconstruction completed in 1955, built following the original designs. The gold leafing was even thicker than the original, a defiant act of restoration to ensure its beauty would shine brighter than ever. This event adds a layer of modern pathos to its long history, reminding us of the fragility of beauty and the resilience of culture. So, what does the Golden Pavilion truly represent? It's more than just a tourist spot. It's a physical embodiment of wabi-sabi, the Japanese aesthetic of finding beauty in imperfection and transience, especially considering its history of destruction and rebirth. It's a testament to the Muromachi period's cultural flourishing, a time when Zen Buddhism, tea ceremony, and inkwash painting came to define Japanese art. For the Japanese people, it's a source of immense national pride and a powerful connection to their past. For visitors from around the world, it offers a moment of pure, unadulterated awe. Standing before its radiant reflection, you can't help but feel a sense of peace and wonder. The experience of visiting Kinkaku-ji changes dramatically with the seasons, each offering a unique perspective. In spring, cherry blossoms frame the golden structure in delicate pink and white. In summer, the deep green of the surrounding forest makes the gold pop with incredible vibrancy. Autumn is perhaps the most popular season, as the fiery reds and oranges of the maple leaves create a stunning contrast against the pavilion. And in winter, a rare dusting of snow turns the entire scene into a magical, monochrome fairy tale, with the gold providing a warm, solitary glow. Each season paints a different masterpiece, making it a place you can visit time and time again and always discover something new. Beyond its visual splendor, Kinkaku-ji continues to function as a Zen temple, part of the Rinzai sect. While daily life might seem quiet, it is a place of active practice. Its official name is Rokyun-ji, meaning Deer Garden Temple, a name that feels much more humble than its golden nickname. This duality is key. It's a dazzling spectacle, but at its heart, it's a place for quiet contemplation on the nature of existence. It invites us to look past the glittering surface and reflect on the deeper meanings woven into its wood, stone, and gold. In conclusion, the Golden Pavilion is a multi-layered masterpiece. It is a historical document, an architectural textbook, a spiritual sanctuary, and a work of art in perfect harmony with nature. It tells a story of power, faith, tragedy, and rebirth. It's a place that engages all the senses and invites deep reflection. Its timeless beauty isn't just in the gold, but in the history it carries, the philosophy it represents, and the serene feeling it imparts on all who stand before it. It truly is a jewel in Kyoto's cultural crown and a must-see for anyone interested in the profound beauty of Japan. We are embarking on a journey to one of Japan's most iconic and breathtaking landmarks, Kinkaku-ji, the legendary Golden Pavilion. Nestled in the historic city of Kyoto, this temple isn't just a building. It's a story of ambition, beauty, and resilience, a shining jewel in Japan's cultural crown. So, grab your virtual travel bags and let's dive into the glittering world of Kinkaku-ji. Our story begins in the late 14th century, during the Muromachi period. The site was originally a villa owned by a powerful statesman, but in 1397, it was purchased by a man whose name is forever linked to this golden wonder, the shogun, Ashikaga Yoshimitsu. After his retirement from politics, Yoshimitsu transformed the villa into a magnificent retirement estate, creating the foundation of what we see today. It was his vision that gave birth to this architectural masterpiece, a place designed not just for Zen Buddhist practice, but as a lavish display of his power and aesthetic taste. Now, let's talk about what makes Kinkaku-ji so unforgettable. Its appearance. The top two floors of the pavilion are completely covered in pure gold leaf. Imagine seeing that for the first time. The way the golden walls shimmer and reflect in the tranquil surface of the Kyoto-kai, or mirror pond, is a sight that has captivated visitors for centuries. It's a surreal, almost magical experience. Depending on the time of day, the season, or the weather, the pavilion presents a different face. On a sunny day, it's a dazzling beacon. In the rain, it has a soft, melancholic glow. And when winter blankets Kyoto in snow, the contrast of the pure white snow against the brilliant gold is absolutely sublime. It's a photographer's dream. But Kinkaku-ji is more than just a pretty face. Its design is a fascinating blend of three distinct architectural styles, each floor representing a different era and culture. Let's take a closer look, starting from the bottom. The first floor, named the Chamber of Dharma Waters, is built in the Shinden-zukuri style, reminiscent of the residential palaces of the Heian period nobility. It has natural wood pillars and white plaster walls, creating a sense of elegant simplicity that contrasts beautifully with the floors above. This floor was used for receiving guests and hosting events. Moving up, we reach the second floor, known as the Tower of Sound Waves. This level is built in the Bukzukuri style, the style of samurai residences. It housed a seated statue of Kannon, the Bodhisattva of compassion, surrounded by statues of the four heavenly kings. While we can't enter the pavilion today, we can imagine the shogun sitting here, contemplating the beauty of his garden and the sounds of nature. The exterior of this floor is also covered in gold leaf, beginning the transition to the opulent peak. Finally, we arrive at the third and topmost floor. This is the cupola of the ultimate, built in the style of a traditional Chinese Zen hall, or Zenshu Batsuden. It is gilded both inside and out, and is topped with a magnificent golden phoenix, a mythical bird symbolizing divine favor and good fortune. This floor was used for private religious services and was designed to be a space for meditation. This unique three-part structure is a physical representation of Yoshimitsu's world, blending the courtly, the martial, and the spiritual into one harmonious whole. The garden surrounding Kinkaku-ji is just as important as the pavilion itself. It's a masterful example of a Japanese stroll garden, meticulously designed to create a series of picturesque scenes as you walk along its paths. The mirror pond is the centerpiece, with its islands of various sizes, some resembling cranes and turtles, symbols of longevity. The rocks and pine trees are strategically placed to evoke famous landscapes from Japanese and Chinese literature. The garden was created to be a paradise on earth, a representation of the Pure Land of Buddha. Every stone, every tree, every ripple in the water is part of a larger artistic vision. After Yoshimitsu's death in 1408, his son converted the villa into a Zen temple of the Rinzai school, which it remains to this day. The temple's formal name is actually Rokyun-ji, meaning Deer Garden Temple. Kinkaku-ji is just its popular nickname, thanks, of course, to its golden exterior. For centuries, It stood as a symbol of Kyoto's cultural zenith. However, the history of Kinkaku-ji has a tragic chapter. On July 2nd, 1950, the world was shocked to learn that the Golden Pavilion had been burned to the ground. It was an act of arson committed by a young novice monk who was struggling with mental health issues. This devastating event sent shockwaves through Japan. The loss of such an irreplaceable national treasure was a profound blow to the nation's psyche. The incident even inspired the famous novel The Temple of the Golden Pavilion by Yukio Mishima, which explores the complex motivations behind the act. It was a dark moment, a stark reminder of the fragility of even our most treasured heritage. But Japan is a nation known for its resilience. The desire to see the Golden Pavilion rise again was overwhelming. A massive reconstruction effort began, relying on detailed plans and photographs from before the fire. The new pavilion was completed in 1955, meticulously recreated to be as faithful to the original as possible. In fact, some might say the current structure is even more splendid. During the reconstruction, a much thicker layer of gold leaf was applied, and advanced techniques were used to preserve it, ensuring its brilliance for generations to come. The golden phoenix on the roof was also replaced in 1987. So the temple we see today is a testament to the nation's determination to preserve its cultural identity. It's a symbol not just of past glory, but of rebirth and perseverance. Today, Kinkaku-ji is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's one of the most visited tourist destinations in all of Japan. When you visit, the journey begins as you enter the temple grounds. You walk down a path shaded by tall trees, building anticipation. And then you turn a corner, and there it is. The pavilion suddenly appears across the pond. And no matter how many pictures you've seen, the real thing is truly awe-inspiring. It stops you in your tracks. The path leads you around the pond, offering different angles and perspectives of the temple and its reflection. You'll pass by the head priest's former living quarters, and then continue up a small hill behind the pavilion. Here, you'll find other interesting spots, like the Anmin-taku Pond, which is said to never dry up, and statues where people toss coins for good luck. Further along is the Sekatiya Tea House, a rustic building that offers a charming contrast to the golden grandeur of the main pavilion. The tour concludes with a visit to the Fudo Hall, a small temple hall that houses a statue of Fudo Myo, one of the 5 wisdom kings and a protector of Buddhism. So, what does Kinkaku-ji represent? It's a symbol of immense wealth and power, a shogun's vision of paradise. It's a masterpiece of landscape and architectural design, blending different styles into a perfect whole. It's a place of Zen contemplation, inviting quiet reflection. And, after its tragic destruction and subsequent rebirth, it's also a powerful symbol of resilience and the enduring spirit of Japanese culture. It's a story written in wood, stone, and gold. If you're planning a trip to Kyoto, Kinkaku-ji is an absolute must-see. It's easily accessible by bus from Kyoto Station and other parts of the city. A word of advice: it can get very crowded, so try to go early in the morning on a weekday for a more peaceful experience. Give yourself at least an hour to fully appreciate the grounds. And don't forget your camera, because you'll want to capture the memory of this golden wonder. We're embarking on a journey to one of Japan's most iconic and breathtaking sights, a place where shimmering gold meets tranquil water, and where history and spirituality intertwine. We are heading to the heart of ancient Japan, to the magnificent city of Kyoto, to witness the splendor of Kinkaku-ji The Temple of the Golden Pavilion. Imagine a structure so radiant that it seems to float on the surface of a mirror-like pond, its golden reflection dancing with the ripples. That's the magic of Kinkaku-ji. It's more than just a beautiful building. It is a symbol of Kyoto's enduring elegance and a testament to a fascinating period of Japanese history. So grab your virtual passport and let's dive deep into the story, beauty, and serene atmosphere of this world-renowned Zen Buddhist temple. Our story begins in the late 14th century, during the Muromachi period. The site wasn't always a temple. It was originally a villa, a retirement estate for a powerful statesman named Saionji Kinsun. But its destiny changed forever when it was purchased by the shogun, Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, in 1397. Now, Yoshimitsu was no ordinary ruler. He was a man of immense power, wealth, and refined taste. He envisioned this place not just as a home, but as a paradise on earth, a spectacular retreat that would reflect his own prestige. He transformed the villa into an opulent complex known as Kitayama-den. The centerpiece of this complex was a dazzling 3-story pavilion, lavishly covered in pure gold leaf. This was the birth of the Golden Pavilion. For Yoshimitsu, this wasn't just a display of wealth. It was a place for hosting esteemed guests, including the Emperor of Japan, and for indulging in the sophisticated cultural pursuits of the time, like poetry gatherings and tea ceremonies. It was the glittering hub of Kitayama culture. After Yoshimitsu's death in 1408, his son, following his father's will, converted the estate into a Zen Buddhist temple of the Rinzai sect. The temple was officially named Rokyun-ji, which means Deer Garden Temple. While that is its formal name, the world has come to know and love it by its much more descriptive nickname, Kinkaku-ji, the Temple of the Golden Pavilion. This transition from a private villa to a public place of worship marked a new chapter, one that would cement its place in the spiritual landscape of Japan. As we approach the temple grounds today, the first thing that strikes you is the incredible sense of peace. The path leads you through a beautifully manicured garden, designed to block out the noise of the outside world. Every tree, every stone, every patch of moss feels deliberately placed. And then you turn a corner, and there it is. The view is simply breathtaking. Across the Kyoto-kai, or Mirror Pond, the Golden Pavilion stands in all its glory. The effect is mesmerizing. The structure itself is a work of art, but its perfect reflection in the still water doubles its beauty, creating a scene of almost surreal perfection. It looks like a painting brought to life. Let's take a closer look at the architecture, because each floor tells a different story. The design is a brilliant fusion of 3 distinct Japanese architectural styles, representing different social classes and creating a unique harmony. The first floor, named the Chamber of Dharma Waters, is built in the Shinrin-zukuri style. This was the style used for the palaces of the Heian period aristocracy. With its natural wood pillars and white plaster walls, it has a simple, open, and elegant feel. It's designed to draw you in and create a connection with the surrounding nature. You can almost imagine nobles gathering here, looking out onto the pond. Moving up to the second floor, we see a complete change in style. This level is built in the Bukzukuri style, the style of the samurai warrior residences. This floor, called the Tower of Sound Waves, once housed a seated statue of Kannon, the Bodhisattva of Mercy, surrounded by statues of the 4 heavenly kings. While we can't go inside, we can appreciate the sliding wooden doors and latticed windows that are characteristic of this more robust martial style. It's a nod to the shogun's status as a warrior leader. And finally, we reach the pinnacle, the third and most spectacular floor. This level is designed in the style of a traditional Chinese Zen hall, known as Zenchu Butsudan. It's called the cupola of the ultimate. This floor is gilded inside and out with pure gold leaf and is topped by a magnificent golden phoenix, a mythical bird symbolizing good fortune and rebirth. The intricate bell-shaped windows are a hallmark of this Zen-influenced style. This top floor is used for religious services and meditation, representing the realm of enlightenment. So, from the aristocratic base through the samurai middle to the Zen spiritual peak, the pavilion is a journey through Japanese society and a climb towards spiritual awakening. The gardens surrounding Kinkaku-ji are just as important as the pavilion itself. They are a masterpiece of Japanese landscape design, specifically a style known as a stroll garden. The path is carefully designed to reveal new, perfectly framed views of the pavilion as you walk. The central mirror pond isn't just for reflections. It's dotted with islands of various sizes, covered in pine trees and strategically placed rocks. These elements aren't random. They represent larger landscapes, like the islands of Japan itself, or mythical Buddhist paradises. Walking through the garden is a form of meditation, a journey designed to calm the mind and delight the senses. As you continue along the path, past the main view of the pavilion, you'll discover other hidden gems. There's a spring called the Dragon's Gate Waterfall, and a stone that looks like a carp trying to swim upstream, a classic Zen allegory for the struggle towards enlightenment. You will also find the Seka Tit House, a rustic and charming structure built in the Edo period. Its simple, natural design provides a beautiful contrast to the golden opulence of the main pavilion. It's a reminder that beauty can be found in simplicity as well as in grandeur. But the story of Kinkaku-ji has a dramatic and tragic twist. The pavilion we see today is not the original one built by Yoshimitsu. In 1950, the world was shocked to learn that the priceless, nearly 600-year-old structure had been burned to the ground. The culprit was a young, novice monk who was suffering from mental health issues. This act of arson destroyed a national treasure and became a famous incident in modern Japanese history, even inspiring the acclaimed novel The Temple of the Golden Pavilion by Yukio Mishima. It was a devastating loss. However, in the face of this tragedy, the spirit of Japan's resilience shone through. An exact reconstruction of the pavilion began in 1955, using detailed plans and photographs from before the fire. The restoration was a meticulous and painstaking process. A significantly thicker layer of gold leaf was applied to the new structure, and even the golden phoenix on the roof was recast. While it is a reconstruction, it so faithfully captures the spirit and design of the original that it stands today as a powerful symbol of rebirth and cultural preservation. The fire, in a way, added another layer to its rich history, a story of loss and renewal. So what does Kinkaku-ji represent to us today? It's a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting millions of visitors from around the globe. For tourists, it's an unforgettable photo opportunity, a chance to see one of the most beautiful sights in the world. But for many Japanese people, and for those interested in Zen philosophy, it's much more. It's a place of quiet contemplation. The golden exterior represents the purity of enlightenment, a brilliance that shines from within. The serene garden and the tranquil pond encourage mindfulness and a connection with the natural world. Visiting Kinkaku-ji is an experience that changes with the seasons. In spring, it's framed by delicate cherry blossoms. In summer, the deep green of the trees makes the gold pop even more. In autumn, it's surrounded by a fiery explosion of red, orange, and yellow maple leaves. And in winter, a rare dusting of snow turns the entire scene into a magical monochrome wonderland, with the gold providing a warm, solitary glow. Each season offers a unique and equally stunning perspective. As our journey comes to an end, we leave with a sense of awe and tranquility. Kinkaku-ji is a place where human artistry and natural beauty exist in perfect harmony. It is a journey back in time to the age of shoguns and a journey inward to a place of Zen serenity. It reminds us that beauty can be both opulent and simple, that history is a cycle of creation, loss, and rebirth, and that even in a bustling modern world, we can still find moments of pure golden peace. We are embarking on a journey to one of the most iconic and breathtaking sights in all of Japan, Kinkaku-ji, the legendary Golden Pavilion in Kyoto. This isn't just a temple, it's a story etched in gold, a testament to beauty, ambition, and the transient nature of life itself. Imagine this, a 3-story pavilion, its top to floors completely covered in pure gold leaf, shimmering and reflecting perfectly in the tranquil waters of a mirror pond. It's a sight that stops you in your tracks, a postcard perfect image that feels almost surreal. But the story behind this golden masterpiece is just as captivating as its appearance. Our story begins in the late 14th century. During Japan's Muromachi period, the site was originally a villa owned by a powerful statesman, but in 1397, it was purchased by the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu was one of the most influential figures of his time, a man of immense power and refined taste. After retiring from his position as shogun, he transformed this villa into his personal paradise, a lavish complex where he could indulge in his passion for art and culture. The centerpiece of this paradise was, of course, the Golden Pavilion. For Yoshimitsu, this pavilion was more than just a retirement home. It was a statement. It was a symbol of the flourishing Kitayama culture, a new era of elegance and artistic expression that he himself championed. He would entertain important guests here, including the Emperor of Japan, hosting poetry contests, tea ceremonies, and moon viewing parties. Standing here, you can almost hear the faint echoes of refined laughter and the gentle rustle of silk kimonos from centuries past. Now, let's take a closer look at the architecture, because it's truly fascinating. Each of the 3 floors is designed in a different architectural style, which was a deliberate choice by Yoshimitsu to reflect his multifaceted interests. The first floor, named the Chamber of Dharma Waters, is built in the Shinden-zukuri style. This was the palace style favored by the imperial aristocracy of the earlier Heian period. It's more understated, with natural wood pillars and white plaster walls. This floor opens out onto the pond, creating a seamless connection between the building and the surrounding nature. It was designed as a reception area, a place to welcome guests into his world. As we move up to the 2nd floor, the style changes completely. This is the Tower of Sound Waves, built in the Bukzukuri style, the style of the samurai warrior class. It housed a seated statue of Kannon, the Bodhisattva of mercy, and was likely used for more private meetings. The exterior of this floor is where the magic begins, completely covered in that stunning gold leaf. The contrast between the rustic 1st floor and the glittering 2nd floor is meant to be jarring and impressive. And finally, we reach the pinnacle, the 3rd floor. This is the cupola of the ultimate. It's built in the style of a traditional Chinese Zen hall, or Kyoryo style. It's smaller, more intimate, and gilded both inside and out. It housed sacred relics of the Buddha and was used for personal religious services and tea ceremonies. This floor represented Yoshimitsu's devotion to Zen Buddhism. So, in one building, you have a representation of the aristocrats, the samurai, and the Zen priest, the three major spheres of influence in medieval Japan. It's a microcosm of his world, all wrapped in gold. After Yoshimitsu's death in 1408, his will dictated that the pavilion be converted into a Zen temple of the Rinzai sect, and it was officially named Rokkyon-ji, which means Deer Garden Temple. However, everyone continued to call it Kinkaku-ji, the Temple of the Golden Pavilion, a name that has stuck for over 600 years. The garden surrounding the pavilion is just as important as the building itself. It's a masterpiece of Japanese landscape design, a strolling garden meant to be enjoyed from various viewpoints. The large pond, Kyoto-kai, or mirror pond, is central to the design. The islands dotted within the pond, some large, some small as a single rock, are arranged to represent the Japanese islands. The way the golden structure reflects in the still water is a core part of the intended aesthetic. On a calm day, the reflection is so perfect it creates a stunning symmetrical illusion, a heavenly vision on earth. The designers used a technique called shakai, or borrowed scenery, incorporating the distant Mount Kinugasa into the garden's backdrop, making the garden feel larger and more integrated with the natural world. Every stone, every tree, and every moss-covered patch of ground has been meticulously placed to create a sense of harmony and tranquility. It's a garden that changes with the seasons, offering a different kind of beauty, whether it's dusted with snow in winter, framed by a fiery display of autumn maples, or surrounded by the lush green of summer. But the history of Kinkaku-ji has not always been so serene. It has survived wars and fires over the centuries, but its greatest tragedy occurred much more recently. In 1950, the world was shocked to learn that the Golden Pavilion, a designated national treasure, had been burned to the ground. The arsonist was a young, 22-year-old novice monk who was suffering from mental health issues. He had become obsessed and disillusioned with the pavilion's perfect beauty. This tragic event shook the nation to its core and inspired the famous novel, The Temple of the Golden Pavilion, by Yukio Mishima. The loss was devastating. The original structure, which had stood for over 550 years, was gone. However, the Japanese people were determined to rebuild. An exact replica was painstakingly constructed, a process that took 5 years. The current pavilion, which we see today, was completed in 1955. It was rebuilt based on detailed original plans and photographs. There was even a major restoration in the 1980s where a new, thicker layer of gold leaf was applied, making it even more brilliant than before. So, while the building we see today is technically a replica, it stands as a powerful symbol of resilience, of a culture's determination to preserve its heritage against all odds. It's a testament to the idea that while a physical structure can be destroyed, the spirit and beauty it represents can endure and be reborn. Walking the path around the pond today, you will see a constant stream of visitors from all over the world, all captivated by its glow. The path guides you past the pavilion, up a small hill, and through the rest of the temple grounds. You'll pass the Sekirei house, a rustic and charming structure that offers a different perspective on the pavilion. You will also find a small waterfall and a spring, said to have been used by Yoshimitsu for his tea ceremonies. At the Fudo Hall, you will see people lighting incense and offering prayers to Fudo Myo, one of the 5 wisdom kings and a fierce protector of Buddhism. It's a reminder that this is still a living, breathing place of worship, not just a historical monument. Kinkaku-ji is more than just a shiny building. It's a complex layering of history, art, religion, and philosophy. It represents the worldly ambitions of a powerful shogun, the refined aesthetics of a golden age of culture, and the spiritual tranquility of Zen Buddhism. Its reflection in the water reminds us of the Japanese concept of mono no aware, a gentle sadness for the transient nature of all things. The idea that beauty is profound precisely because it doesn't last forever. The story of its destruction and rebirth adds another layer to its meaning. It teaches us about loss, but also about hope and renewal. It is a golden beacon that has weathered the storms of history, a place that continues to inspire awe and contemplation in everyone who visits. It truly is one of the most unforgettable places on Earth. So, if you ever find yourself in Kyoto, make sure a visit to Kinkaku-ji is at the top of your list. It's a journey back in time, a lesson in aesthetics, and a moment of pure, breathtaking beauty that will stay with you long after you've left. We're embarking on a journey to one of Japan's most iconic and breathtaking landmarks, Kinkaku-ji, the legendary Golden Pavilion in Kyoto. Nestled serenely beside a tranquil pond, this shimmering structure isn't just a beautiful sight. It's a gateway into centuries of Japanese history, art, and philosophy. So grab your virtual passport and let's dive into the story of this magnificent golden treasure. Our story begins in the late 14th century, during the Muromachi period. The site where the Golden Pavilion now stands was originally a villa called Kitayama-dai, owned by a powerful statesman. But its destiny changed forever when it was purchased by the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu in 1397. After his retirement from the shogunate, Yoshimitsu transformed the villa into his personal paradise, a sprawling complex of magnificent buildings and gardens. The centerpiece, of course, was the Golden Pavilion. Now, you might think Yoshimitsu built this dazzling structure just to show off his immense wealth and power. And while that was certainly part of it, his vision was much deeper. The pavilion was designed as a physical representation of the Pure Land of Amida Buddha, a celestial paradise in Buddhist cosmology. It was a place for contemplation, for hosting esteemed guests like the emperor, and for immersing himself in the flourishing Kitayama culture, a new wave of art and aesthetics that he championed. Imagine the lavish parties, the poetry readings, and the tea ceremonies that took place right here, with this golden vision as the backdrop. But let's talk about the design itself, because it's truly a masterpiece of architectural fusion. The pavilion has 3 distinct floors, and each one is built in a different architectural style, telling a story as you look up from the ground. The first floor, named the Chamber of Dharma Waters, is built in the Shinden-zukuri style, reminiscent of the palaces of the Heian period nobility. It has natural wood pillars and white plaster walls, creating a sense of refined, open elegance. It's designed to be in harmony with the surrounding nature. Moving up, the second floor is called the Tower of Sound Waves. This level is built in the Bukzukuri style, the style of samurai residences. It houses a seated statue of the Bodhisattva Kannon, the goddess of mercy, surrounded by statues of the 4 heavenly kings. This floor was likely used for private meetings and music. It's here that the golden exterior begins, covering the walls and balcony, hinting at the celestial world above. And finally, we reach the top, the third floor. This is the cupola of the ultimate. It's built in the style of a traditional Chinese Zen hall, known as Zen-Batsuden. It's gilded inside and out, a truly dazzling spectacle. This floor enshrines sacred relics of the Buddha, making it the most sacred part of the pavilion. The very top is crowned by a magnificent bronze phoenix, a mythical bird symbolizing divine favor and immortality. So, from the aristocratic base to the samurai middle, to the Zen spiritual peak, The entire building is a journey from the human world to the divine. After Yoshimitsu's death in 1408, his will dictated that the villa be converted into a Zen Buddhist temple of the Rinzai sect. And so, Kinkaku-ji, whose official name is actually Rokyun-ji or Deer Garden Temple, was born. For centuries, it stood as a symbol of Kyoto's cultural heritage, surviving wars, and the passage of time. The original pavilion stood for over 550 years, a silent witness to Japan's changing history. But this brings us to a tragic chapter in the pavilion's story. On a summer night in 1950, the unthinkable happened. The ancient structure was burned to the ground by a young, novice monk who was struggling with his own personal demons. This shocking act of arson destroyed not just a national treasure, but also the original statues and priceless artifacts housed within. The entire nation was in mourning. The event was so profound that it inspired Yukio Mishima's famous novel, The Temple of the Golden Pavilion, which explores the complex psychology behind the act. The loss was devastating, but the story of Kinkaku-ji is also one of incredible resilience. The Japanese people were determined to rebuild their beloved icon. A massive reconstruction project began, and in 1955, a new pavilion was unveiled. The new structure is an exact replica of the original, based on meticulous historical research and detailed plans. And they didn't skimp on the gold. The gold leaf coating, which is much more extensive than the original was believed to have been, was reapplied in the 1980s, giving us the brilliant, shimmering spectacle we see today. That glorious reflection in the Kaikeu-kai, or mirror pond, is a sight that truly stays with you. Now, let's talk about the gardens, because they are just as important as the pavilion itself. The garden is a classic example of a Muromachi period strolling garden, designed to be appreciated from various viewpoints as you walk along the path. The large pond in front of the pavilion is dotted with islands and rock formations of various sizes. These aren't just random rocks. Each one has a name and symbolism, representing elements of Buddhist cosmology or famous landscapes from Japanese and Chinese literature. The entire composition is a masterpiece of landscape design, creating a perfect, idealized world with the Golden Pavilion as its shining heart. As you walk the path, the view of the pavilion is constantly changing, framed by pine trees and the water surface. A visit to Kinkaku-ji is a journey through the seasons. In spring, you'll see it framed by delicate cherry blossoms. In summer, the deep greens of the surrounding forest create a stunning contrast with the gold. But it's perhaps in autumn, with the vibrant reds and oranges of the maple leaves, or in winter, when a rare blanket of snow covers the roof and grounds, that the pavilion is at its most magical. Each season paints a new picture, offering a different but equally stunning experience. It reminds us of the Japanese concept of mono no aware, a gentle sadness for the transience of things, but also a deep appreciation for their fleeting beauty. So, is the Kinkaku-ji we see today the real one? It's a fascinating question. While the physical structure is a reconstruction, the spirit, the design, and the cultural significance are all authentic continuations of Yoshimitsu's original vision. The act of rebuilding it with such care and devotion speaks volumes about the value Japan places on its heritage. The pavilion is not just a building. It's a living symbol of cultural identity, of beauty, and of the ability to recover from loss. It teaches us that even when something precious is destroyed, its idea and its spirit can be reborn, sometimes even more brilliantly than before. Today, Kinkaku-ji is one of the most visited sites in Japan and a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site. Millions of people from all over the world come here every year to gaze at its golden reflection, to walk its peaceful gardens, and to feel a connection to a history that spans over 600 years. It is a testament to the enduring power of beauty and the human desire to create and preserve it. It's a place where history, art, and nature converge in perfect harmony.